hour, so we'll go ahead and get started and let people sort of migrate in as they see fit. So welcome to Third Thursday. Woo! We have a couple different things we want to talk about today and some just sort of topics to throw out to y'all. But first, I can't, is there anybody new on the call? I don't see any new people right off the bat. So if this is your first meeting, welcome. If not, glad you're here. And then second off, we are going to be talking just a couple of assessment reminders. Ellen, you want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone. So just as a reminder, don't forget about your assessments. The link is live for the online reporting. And I'll drop all of that in the chat in just a minute. But so don't forget that your online assessment is different than it was last year. We did it for you last year. You don't have to do the paper form for that. But that's also due on January 15th, but it's open and ready for people to submit. If you'll remember last month during Third Thursday, we did the update on how to do all of that online. You can go and we have that YouTube channel that you can go and watch that again if you need some help. And then in your emails, I've also sent the paper form of how to fill that out as well. So just if you need help, there's 2 ways you can do it, or you can just reach out to us and I'm happy to walk you through it as well. On top of that, your Dropbox information is also due on January 15th. So don't forget about that and your checklist and all of those things that are due. And also for those of you who are doing in-person assessments, do not forget to sign up for your in-person assessment. So that's regions 3 and 4, Metro Atlanta. And then West Metro Atlanta. We've got about half of y'all signed up at the moment, and I'll drop the link into the chat as well for the signups. But don't forget to sign up for your spot because there are as many spots as there are in-person assessments. And so I need y'all to, if you want to pick a certain time, a certain day, you need to hop on there now and do it, because if there's just one spot left, that's what you get, unfortunately. So, yeah, Jason, I saw that you had turned it in. It is definitely time consuming. And I think we kind of said that in the assessment, like the webinar we did last time. So it's going to take you some time. Do not wait until the last minute to do this. It is very, thorough in asking the questions, and that the fact that you have to respond to each response that you have. So just remember to set aside a good chunk of time. But if y'all have questions about the assessment, if some of y'all have gotten started and I'm not sure what you need to do, or you just have specific questions for that, we're happy to field them now. Or if you want to wait until later and set up a time to call, we can do that too. But I'll open the floor for questions if you have them right now. No. Jason, Emily asked how long it took you to do your assessment.
I worked on it a good while yesterday. I'd say a couple hours yesterday, and then I buttoned it up this morning in about an hour or so. So if you've got uninterrupted time, which is hard to obtain, you can knock it out. But maybe schedule a little bit of time each week between now and the end of the year, and you can work on it. We just happen to have everything really together because we have mobilized Main Street, so I didn't have to search for anything. So
right. I would definitely suggest also sitting down with your board and going through that paper self-assessment. That way it can help you get through those questions a little faster. So that's always a good thing to do. And then your board feels like they have input as well. So I definitely suggest doing that.
And the paper form also has a little bit more guidance. And so if you kind of come into the online form before looking at the paper form, sometimes it can be a little bit jarring. So I'd also encourage you to just sort of like a lead in to look at the paper form, read through sort of like the instructions and some of that, and then hop into the assessment. And so it won't seem as like, wait, what are we supposed to do here? It just kind of provides a little bit more guidance. And that is on our website under the assessments, under resources. And I believe Ellen also emailed that out when she sent out the signups on October 7th. But if you can't find those either places, feel free to email us and we'll send that to you as well. We're happy to do that. We want to make sure you have all the resources needed. I'm also working on, and it's been a little bit delayed, so I apologize for that, kind of a quick couple page overview of just like the first section of the self-assessment, because it can be a little bit tricky because there's some redundancies and certain things that they're asking you to upload. And so I'm working on just a really simple thing with screenshots and kind of instructions for each of those parts. And so if you get to that first page and you're like, wait, what? There is help coming, or just reach out to us for clarification. We don't want that to get in the way of you kind of progressing through the form.
Right. And don't forget also, we haven't sent it out yet, so just know we haven't sent it out yet, but your manager survey will also be due as part of your assessment as a requirement. And we will probably send that out in the next couple of weeks. We're finalizing some questions on there. We've changed up a little bit. So be on the lookout for an email for your manager survey, your annual manager survey as well.
And at the very last page of the assessment, it asks a couple different questions that are date specific, but two questions at the very end are, when was your program founded? And what was the last visit date for your coordinating program to come to your city? If you're unsure of those dates, email us. We have those on file, and so we can help you with that. But again, the caveat, this is where do not wait until the last minute, because we're all going to be at the end of the year sort of taking time off. And so if you wait until the last couple of days before the assessment's due, and all of a sudden we're fielding 50 inquiries about when were we founded, if you're not sure, that might be a little bit information that might be delayed. And so we don't want you to be delinquent on that. So make sure to work on this, be adjacent and sort of trip the light fantastic and get it done sooner rather than later. And also that way, if you have run into any issues on being able to log on and access it, we're able to help you in that part as well in a timely manner. And it's not going to be in a period where like there might be some of us in and out of the office and not have as much availability. So we want to make sure that we get that all taken care of so you're able to complete that in the timeline allotted.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
But yeah, I was going to say, y'all have any more questions?
No. Perfect. And so next we just kind of wanted to check in on everybody. How's everybody doing post-storm? How are your downtowns? Do y'all have any questions for us? I'm going to drop a couple links in the chat, both for FEMA and the small business center, that have some information about, individual assistance and public assistance and a few other things that if you're in sort of the declared counties, they could be resources for you. We've sent that out via email too, but I wanted to share it in the chat here if you haven't gotten kind of the most recent updates. They're updating pretty much, every couple days. And so there's some little bit more information every day, it seems. But how's everybody doing? Does anybody have any questions, any needs, anything they want to share? Any tips and tricks that you found that have worked well for your community in recovery that to kind of going forward or think about in the future?
Everybody's sick of hearing about FEMA and SBA and everything else that has to do with the storm.
I'm ready for 2025.
Amen.
Aww.
I'm done with 24. Between personal accidents, a tornado coming through my downtown, now a hurricane coming through my downtown, I'm ready to thrive in 25.
I love it.
Remember when we all said that in 2019?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready for 2020. Sorry.
I remember 2019's famous words being pivot. That was the major word for 2019.
We
Yeah.
learned how to pivot for sure that next year, didn't we?
Little
Yeah.
did we know. Little did we know.
we've been doing that on a dime lately.
Yeah. So how are you doing? How is the downtown doing, Tanya?
Um, we still were trying to recover from damage and such from the tornado. Um, and the building across from me, the left half of their roof came off during the tornado. So now the right half has come off during the hurricane, and they're still recovering from the tornado section. So, and like I rode through this morning, and there's still two major roofs out in the alley and such. And, I just feel so bad because here we are in Q4, which we all know small businesses live for Q4. And, they've been shut down. And, fortunately, we have this amazing cleanup crew that is coming in to remove the debris and such. But that's also putting 40 plus mega trucks coming through the area. Like you said, Lucretia, pivot. Last Saturday was supposed to be our last Sweet Saturday event where roads would be closed and all that. And I was like, I can't close down the roads. We already got increased traffic. We need to make sure our businesses are completely open or whatever. And so we pivoted, we did something different. And we're just really trying to push our DVA dollar program, out there. We had a new t-shirt to roll out. We were going to use it as a fundraiser for us, but instead we did it. If you bought a t-shirt, you got 10 DVA dollars to spend back in the community. Just, Shannon, I saw that you had posted something, right before the storm happened of, business being down for businesses and such. And, I know Emily responded and Shannon kind of talked about. So that's all I know to do is just try to push people, give them a little money to put with what money they do have to support our local businesses. If y'all got any other great suggestions, I'm up for it.
Well, I love the t-shirt idea though, and that you're doing the downtown dollars with it. I think that's really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Emily, I appreciated your insight on your comment in the Facebook page of just kind of realizing the trend of like before the election, 4 years ago, you saw that downturn because people kind of keep their pennies close when the future is a little bit unknown. And so that's the reality we're living in, I feel like right now too. And I appreciated that insight. That kind of was an aha moment for myself as well. And then in addition with all the, the natural disasters happening, it's just sort of, yeah, this fall has been a doozy so far, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess is there anything that we can do as communities who weren't really affected by the storms? Is there any support y'all need that we can still help and support? I know a lot of the cleanup is underway and kind of the immediate response has happened, but if there's anything in the network that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a couple of like GoFundMe's and stuff out there for a few downtowns. So Sandersville has one. I mean, I would encourage you to buy a t-shirt from Tanya, things like that. At this point, I would just go directly to the communities and help out where you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have
Where can I find my shirt? I love it.
We have a page called matter of fact, one of my board members, he owns a marketing company, and he got it up and running in a couple of days, called Tomb Strong. We all know when we face things like this, it either divides or it brings together. And fortunately, our community has come together and really tried to help each other out. And so we have this Tomb Strong, and they do t-shirts and they accept donations, and they're running it through United Way to kind of be the the money holder or whatever. But all of that is going to help needs around the community. So
yeah.
Bethany, how are you doing in Blackshear?
It's okay. I don't have any awnings on any of my downtown buildings. But Main Street has, everybody's getting grants from our Main Street program, so we're gonna pump out about probably anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 worth of non-restricted hotel motel tax money to be able to repair all those awnings. You know, and the town's getting back, and we were talking yesterday about down like trick-or-treating in homes, and you can't get to people's homes because there's trees and debris and stuff like that. And so we've always done trick-or-treating in the park or on Main Street, and we're just encouraging people to set up a table. If you normally give out candy at your home, come downtown, give out candy in the park and stuff like that. So we're just kind of thinking about things like that. I mean, we've really taken care of our own. I mean, it's been really uplifting to see everybody just kind of come together. But we've got trees to replace and businesses that were not open for 2-3 weeks. So but everybody's just getting back up to going. And Tanya and Vidalia was hit much worse than us. It's our agriculture and our farmers that really were bad. Steve, my husband, he was with Buddy Carter all last week, showing him around all of the devastation in Bacon County and in Pierce County. And they're trying to get something for us on the federal level for sure. So it's just been weird. It's hard. But they'll stick it out. We'll be fine. It'll be all right. We got football on Friday night during a hurricane. Who else did? What else did? So anyway, it's okay. But thank you for asking. We're going to be fine. Thanks.
Anybody else have any shares or updates or want to let us know about any ways to contribute to your communities that are struggling and that have been set up specific?
If anybody wants to go with me to that Eric Church concert with James Taylor in North Carolina, I'm all in. Come on now.
I heard Shania Twain's going to be an opener too.
Who? I'll mute myself on that comment.
Bethany has loved Shania Twain.
I do not like Shania Twain. For everybody out there, I don't like Shania Twain, and they tease me about it often and mercilessly.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Alrighty.
All out of love.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, if anybody, knows of any other things that they hear of, like everything that we get from our office, we push out to y'all. So if we have anything else that comes through, we'll definitely push it out to everybody. But in the meantime, if there's something that we can help with, if there's information you want to get out, just anything like that, just let us know, and we're happy to help in any way we can.
Kim, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Kim, do you want to talk about the concert in Valdosta?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she posted it in the chat. No. Okay.
Well, speaking of that, I know that this is kind of the time of year that there's a lot of events coming up, and I know that it's kind of an interesting time with all the kind of devastation around the state and region, but kind of what do y'all have happening? Or sorry, my mind is still on the disaster stuff. But
positive note, happy things.
Yes, I know it's hard. I wish there was more we could do for y'all, but sadly we can be the pass-through of information. But again, if you need anything, please let us know. But yeah, so we're kind of in event season. We know Halloween's coming up, and then shop small, holiday events. So just sort of anything that y'all have coming up, any interesting events you're particularly proud of that you want to talk about, or if anybody needs some ideas. I know it's a little bit late in the game, but we're scrappy. We can always throw up an event quicker than we realize a lot of times. So anybody want to talk about anything that they have coming up?
I'll talk about our teen event called Halloween Hangout. That's happening the 26th in our downtown. We recently opened up the downtown commons, which is where 3 buildings in our downtown, one had collapsed and the other 2 we had to remove because they were unsafe. So we've been programming the downtown commons. So this will be the first event for teens in our downtown. So it's going to be a fun night. We'll have a projector screen. We're going to show the original Ghostbusters. We've got some cute inflatables. We're going to make a charcuterie board for s'mores, and put some cute little Halloween candies together. And we'll usually have some fire pits that we close the road off in. And we had about 120 kids last year. We're hoping to have more than that coming up, but it's just a fun event. And it's so nice to see what was blank for like 7 years now, an active space that people are calling me all the time. Can I rent it? Can I rent it? I'm like, no, just go use it for free. It's there. You can't rent the space, but it's there for the community. So can't wrap their head around it, but it's a super nice event. So we're pumped about that. We had the Scare on the Square where all of the merchants hand out candy in our downtown footprint and our square. And then we started last year a costume contest. So this will be the 2nd year of our contest. And I was in Charleston this past weekend and they have something called Wagaleen. And I'm like, man, I want to do a pet costume contest. So I don't know if we'll be able to add that this year, but I thought that was super cute.
Very cool.
Hey,
I love
y'all,
that.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing when you plug something in, how it will just automatically work. So I apologize. Driving and Crying is coming. We're gonna have hold on, Magnetic South, Granville, and Kitchafani Cowboys. And I understand those are kind of a groups that people really love. We're pretty excited about this. We had a local attorney in town that kind of mentioned that let's do a concert and make people feel good, and if they want to make donations they can. And so this is happening November 8th, and I think it's gonna bring a lot for our community. We got hit pretty hard, I think y'all all know that. And but you know what, people have asked us all week. We've been at Sunbelt Expo, and I got to tell you, people understand and love. And I think, they're like, you guys just got hit real hard a year ago. And then most people don't know that we kind of got impacted by a tornado just most recently. And then now we've got this one. But we say, you know what? We know how blessed we are, right? And so this is just, it's going to change our canopy and it'll change our personality a little bit. But I do believe that everybody is motivated. I think from our downtown, I'll tell you, I know that our merchants, they took out so many low interest loans before. They're kind of I don't want to say that they feel like they're tapped out and they're looking for those resources. So, for us, it's all about the encouragement. I know the toolkit that you guys sent out was greatly helpful. I was stunned when I was reading how many businesses don't come back after events like this. And so, I think I just appreciate the tools, and I think we're all going to see some changes, but we just got to support each other. So thank you for asking about the concert.
I'm excited. It's Kinchafuni Cowboys, though. They're like local legends, Kim. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, see, I just don't do concerts that much anymore, so thank you. But I keep hearing
Yeah.
everybody's gonna love it.
Everybody's gonna love it. That sounds like a fun time. I'll be there.
Driving and Crying's amazing. Don't
amazing.
you dare put down Driving and Crying.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I promise.
Oh, and I am a big Driving and Crying fan, just so you know. I used to dance on tables for them, but there
For
we go.
real.
Yeah, a minute ago.
You're going straight to hell. That's a song. That's not for Kim. That's
That's
song.
what my mom
That's
always
what my
said.
mama said.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any things going on? I know Tess mentioned about Shop Small. Any specific Shop Small things that you're excited about coming up, or you think is innovative, or just things you want to share?
Oh, and also don't forget to sign up for Neighborhood Champions. That's open. I know I sent an email out. So speaking of Shop Small ideas. Nothing yet.
Everybody needs more coffee this morning, I think. Emily, I know that you just had your tour of progress in Macon. How did that go? And you want to tell everybody a little bit about what that is exactly?
Sure. Yeah, we had a great tour of progress on Friday. We think it was one of our best ones yet because we were able to take people into some buildings that were under construction. So that's always really exciting when we're able to do that. But our tour of progress is what we do in place of an annual meeting. So we take people on a tour of downtown Macon where they get to learn about new businesses that have opened in the past year, any projects that are under construction, or a lot of times they get to be the first ones to see a project that's just completed or just gotten CO, which is always really fun. So we took them on the tour this year where the route went down past the Otis Redding center that's currently under construction, which is really exciting. We got to go inside a loft project that's only been owned by 2 owners at this point, and the first owner for over 100 years were the Freemasons. So there was some spooky stuff in there before the current owner got to get a hold of that building. But it was really great, and it's a really fun way to show off all the incredible work going on in your downtown and really easy to implement in your community. So we had 15 stops on our tour. So we do it on a Friday night so that people can take a drink with them as they're walking around. So that's when we have open container. So we started at our Tiki Lounge, and then we looped back to Just Tapped, which is a business that just celebrated their 10-year anniversary and was one of the first businesses that really got some good momentum going in downtown Macon. So it's kind of a full circle moment to show off all those things, but a really fun way to show your work and show your mission. It's a great opportunity for us to answer questions like, why do you keep building lofts? Or why isn't there a grocery store downtown? Or why do you have parking meters? So it really provides that way to have those conversations. So then the people on the tour can go tell their friends and neighbor and provide more context to people when those kind of conversations come up. So it was a great event.
Thank you for sharing. I love that event. I think it's just so innovative.
Mhm.
All right. Well, and I realized at the beginning of the call, I forgot to shout out GDA for updates. So Renee or Emily, do you have any updates for GDA for us?
Sure, I'm going to be giving the updates today. Thank you for allowing us a moment. Registration for CDP Canton is coming up. The classes are November 12th and 13th. Registration closes November 1st. So if you're interested, if you're on the fence, go ahead and get that registration in before it closes. Going to be a great time in Canton. We're working on the spring regional meetups locations right now. I think all 3 are finally secure. So watch your emails and your social handles. That information will be going out soon so that you can sign up for those no-cost networking events around the state. And then lastly, I sent out an email recently about event submissions to the GDA website. Several of you have started doing that, so thank you. If you have any events that you would like added to that website, I will put the link in the chat. You can go ahead, as long as you're a GDA member, you can just submit it at this link, and then a staff member, me, will approve it, and then it will be on the calendar, on the GDA calendar. So thank you for using that tool. People have been hitting it up to see what's going on in your great communities. And that is all I have, unless Emily has anything else.
I think you covered it, Renee. Thank you.
And then Amanda, the Shop Small initiative through American Express is something that happens every single year. So essentially you go to the link that I dropped in the chat and you sign up to be the neighborhood champion. And they'll send you, at least I don't know if they still send the same amount that they used to, but they'll basically send you a big box or a couple boxes of a bunch of swag all about Shop Small Saturday. Everything from like stickers to banners to welcome mats and a whole bunch of different stuff. And so it's all free. So it's a great thing to opt into, and then they'll send it to you and you can hand it out to your businesses and utilize it for your own business. Very cool. Well, I also want to take this so earlier this month, we had Mobilize Main Street in Hartwell, Dahlonega, and Gainesville. And we have 2 of those communities representing today. So I just want to send a big thank you to all of our hosts, but particularly Nicole and Jason, who are on the call today. Ariel and Skylar did a wonderful job in Dahlonega, but I don't think they are on the call. So I just wanted to send a huge thank you. It was an amazing time. We got wonderful feedback. And it'll go down in the history books as one of the best mobilizes that we've had so far. And so thank you so much. for hosting us. I know everybody was very inspired walking away. Okay. And the rollout that Jason had for volunteers in Hartwell was like, everyone was like, how do we get this to happen in our communities? And Nicole had traffic stop for us. We had a little police escort across the highway at one point. So it was very eventful and inspiring. So thank you very much. And so I feel like everybody's kind of tired today, so I don't know how many more questions we have in the hopper, but a few other couple updates. Number one, next month, we are endeavoring to have our training schedule for next year finalized, so we'll able to talk about that in November. So kind of get ready. We're excited to announce we're doing a couple new things, which we think everybody's going to really enjoy. So stay tuned for that and make sure to hop on to next month, third Thursday. And also, I have a little preview for y'all of something really exciting that has been a probably 4-year project at this point, and we're just starting to reach the finish line. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. And we have, let's see, of course, it's where I can't see it. So I present to you the brand spanking new downtowngeorgia.com. This is going to be, I know that a lot of you have heard about this a lot in the last couple years. We started talking about it in 2020, and it's just now starting to roll across the finish line. So it is live. We just need to we're going to start reaching out to a couple of communities to start filling out some profiles so we have some data in there. But it literally is hot off the presses, so we're very excited. So this is sort of the landing page that everybody will hop onto. And so Noonan, Abigail, I know that you're on, so we're representing Noonan on the front page here, and that rolls. But essentially, it's a way to look up any historic, if it's loaded in here, any historic building in a downtown across the state of Georgia once it's populated. So you basically can do, I'm looking for a building to buy, a space for my business, or both. So essentially buy or lease in downtown Georgia. And then once we have communities create their profiles, there'll actually be a list of the different communities that are loaded up on here. So if people are really interested in Macon and you have properties available in Macon, they can come onto this website, select Macon, and see all the properties that you have available that you've listed on here. Or if they're just like, I want a historic building somewhere, I don't really know where I want to be, they can say I want a building to buy, and then any building that's listed to buy across the state will show up. And so it's a great way that I'm really excited about it, is that for a lot of people to discover some communities that they might not have thought about purchasing a building or starting a business in, because they get to see the great building stock throughout the state and not just kind of the usual suspects. There's also going to be a survey functionality in the back end and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so we'll be rolling our, property database that we've talked about in the past sort of onto this as the requirement, but with help, but also helping you do that, some support. So we'll be serving sort of the southern part of the state first, because this was paid for by grant money through the disaster relief CDBG. We have to service those affected first, but then after that, once we get those communities serviced, we'll be able to roll it out to the rest of the state. So we're really, really excited. So a few of you will be getting some calls from me in the next couple of days or weeks to see if you'll be our guinea pigs to upload some of the first information. We're just really excited. So yeah, woo! I present Downtown GA, the labor of love that we never thought would happen at some point. Yeah, very, very excited. Yeah, that's my exciting news. But yeah, so okay, oh, yay, I'm glad everybody is probably not as excited as I am, because of all the different hoops we had to jump through, but I think it's going to be a huge tool for the state of Georgia, and I'm very, very excited. Any other questions for y'all? This is complete open floor. If you are just struggling with something, if something has come up that you're wondering if anybody else has any guidance on, please feel free to ask any questions. This is kind of the hive mind portion of the call, and if not, we will probably end this call in record time. But please, anybody, feel free to shout out anything that has been on your mind, something that you want to brag about, or any questions that you've had that you've come across in the last couple weeks or months.
We'll stay on the call if y'all have any questions.
Yeah. And y'all go get some coffee. Like, well, if there's nothing else that anybody has that they want to chat about, it was great seeing you all. Let us know if you need anything, and we'll see you next month.